everyone. It's Margaret Manning here. Welcome to 60 and Me. This is the place where women over 60 come to be inspired. And my guest today is Mel Kobayashi. Mel is a style blogger. She lives in Vancouver in Canada, and she has a very unique sense of style and fashion. She celebrates style with comedy and art. I love that. Welcome, Mel.
Hi, welcome, Margaret. It's great to be here.
It's great to have you. Now, you know what I love about your whole your style is that you seem to have an attitude that clothing really has the power to change your mood. And we have so many women in our community in their 60s and 50s who have really all their lives, lived and dressed to a certain, modality. But now that they're older, they can see clothing like you do for what it is. So tell us why clothing makes you happy.
Oh, how long do you have?
Just keep going.
I love clothing. It brings out different parts of me that are buried. I grew up watching a lot of black and white movies, and a certain character, it'll bring that out. Like today, I feel a little bit Audrey Hepburn. I dress because I'm going to be putting some things on, but also I made a mistake with my mascara, so I made little bat wings.
So you're channeling Audrey Hepburn today.
So it's partly by accident, and if I'm in a bit of a down mood, and I know that clothing is going to lift me up. I just know it, and I'll go to my closet like, oh my God, what am I going to wear? And then I'll pull something out maybe like that.
That will make you happy.
And I put it on, and I don't feel like it's this stupid, colorful jumpsuit. I'm just going to put it on, right? And I'll put it on, and I'll go out, and then people will pass by, and they'll be smiling, even though I'm like the storm cloud head, right? Like the cartoon. And then suddenly I feel so much better now. And that's what's interesting about style is because when you're in the public sphere, there's this boomerang that goes on and you get the energy back and then you put the energy out and then you create this cool current, circular current. And it's transformative in the mood that I feel. So, yeah.
So, Mel, is it the clothing that makes you feel happy, or is it you that chooses the clothing that makes you happy? I mean, is it just inherent in the color or in the style? I mean, I know you've got some things you're going to show us. To give us an example of about why a piece of clothing is happy for you, why it makes you happy.
Well, I think it's a combination of things. Like if I think happy clothing, I think colorful clothing.
Right.
I don't usually think black, but I love black clothing too. It's just a whole different vibe. It's more like, I'm just so sexy and I'm a rock star vibe, right? But if I think color, I'm like, oh, yay, I love color. And it's also a part of the being in the world. The clothing. It's being in the world. It's the interaction with the people around us. And so, as I was just saying briefly, when you encounter somebody, that affects you, but the clothing affected them. So it's not just the clothing. It's being in the world and also the choice of clothing that you put on. It's a combination of the two. And you can also just have the mood at home too. Like if you're at home and you just want to play around with clothing, you'll just put on feather boas and whatever, and you can lift yourself up in a solitary situation as well with your clothing. So.
Funnily enough, Mel, I don't have any feathered boas just around my house. But
my goodness.
Maybe I should.
Serious lack in your closet.
Maybe I should. But I think what you're saying is it actually has a power to communicate something of your essence to other people. I found when I wear berets and hats, like your website is called bagandaberet.blogspot.com. But when you wear hats, people smile more. They do seem to communicate with you, don't they?
They do. They absolutely do. And if I wear a beret in Vancouver, people always say, "Oh, are you from Paris?" Yeah. I'm like, oh.
Then immediately all the associations with Paris. Isn't that what happens with clothes? That somehow you get that association that then brings back a happy or even a poignant memory. Not even so much happy; it's just deep.
Yes, it's a signal to people of some stereotype that's out there in the world, and they immediately apply it, and that can work good and bad ways too, like the stereotyping, but it's always good when it's good, right?
Well, a lot of people in our community talk about the fact that in their 60s, they don't really feel like they have to follow any rules anymore. When it comes to fashion, you really just do what you want. Now, there's still some hesitancy because you don't want to be so garish that you don't feel comfortable. But on the other hand, I think it's that sense that, just go for it. Like, wear the jewels. You buy the necklaces, just wear them.
Yeah, if not now, then when?
Exactly.
Then when? Yeah.
So show us some of your happy clothes. I know you've got a few things
Oh
to show.
my goodness, I have lots of happy clothes.
Okay.
I whizzed this through the screen briefly. It's like,
is it pants?
It's
Leggings?
a jumpsuit. It's a vintage jumpsuit with a kind of a halter top.
Is it cotton?
Like so. It's cotton.
Great colors.
Sleeveless.
Oh,
okay, we'll throw that off there.
I love that.
And I have my favorite boots. I love these boots.
Oh, I love the color. Wow.
Aren't they great? They're just awesome.
Do you wear this to the grocery store?
I do.
Absolutely.
I wear all the things I'm showing you. I wear out in public.
Fantastic.
And I feel fabulous. And I have so many conversations with strangers. They'll come up and go, "Oh, I love your style." And if they don't like it, they're polite enough not to say anything.
Exactly. They've learned. So those are your suede green boots. What else?
These are my elf shoes.
Oh, wow. Those are cool.
Yeah.
Where did you find those, honestly?
These last two pairs, the shag boots and those elf boots, they're from a company called Floral. They've got like devoted fans. They've got people who bow down to them because they're such an iconic brand. They started in Vancouver, and I'm in Vancouver, so that explains part of it. And I have these. These are great.
Oh, wow.
I should be walking this way.
Converse.
Yeah, Converse, high top runners.
I've never
They're
seen
great.
those, Mel, ever.
Oh, they're so awesome. And they zip up the back.
Oh, great. So you don't have to lace them up every time.
So you don't go insane while you're putting on your footwear.
Now, that's a good use of black and white. I mean, that really is quite beautiful.
I was going to show that in another part we're going to talk about. But
It's beautiful.
And this is a necktie. Let me see. Well.
See, that's really beautiful. How would you wear that? Just with a
just
black?
gorgeous.
Look at it. It's gorgeous with that top.
Well, I wear it with I'll wear it with patterns. I'll wear it with I have neon yellow clothing. I have a neon lace blouse, which is amazing, and I'll wear this with it.
It's lovely.
So cool. Yeah. And let's see what else. Oh, I have this is not clothing, but it's part of it. I have this 12-pack of eyeshadow. And I figure, you know what? If they're going to sell us a 12-pack, don't they expect us to get a little tipsy when we're playing in there? So it's just so much fun. There's glitter gold, glitter silver, black, and I wear all these colors, sometimes all together, but usually if I'm only experimenting at home and having a fun time. I don't always wear that out. But
Do you know, Mel, I thought I was the only one that did this. I mean, I actually do have eye makeup and fun things. I love makeup too. That I just put on at the house. I just put on a slinky, like a long t-shirt dress, and I just, and I just play with color.
Yes.
And
well,
why not feel happy at home too?
I know, like that's the thing. You can create that happiness in your own home environment, or invite your girlfriends over. Because I know a woman, they have feather boa parties, and they invite their friends over, and they all wear a feather boa, and they just sit around there whipping their feather boas around. Another thing I like to do at home is wear wigs sometimes, like,
Oh my goodness! Now
like a wig, and then maybe, put something else on with it like this. Oh, darling. How are you, darling?
I think you slipped out of the Audrey Hepburn into kind of the ab-fab mode. Joanna Lumley. I do too.
Ab-fab.
This has been so fun. And I think that the message here, I mean, it's really, really cool that you're taking clothing and letting it be a reflection of your beautiful, creative, artsy, self. I mean, you're just not letting your clothes control you. You are controlling
I'm
them.
in charge. I'm in charge of my clothes. As long, I figure clothing is a little bit of a political act for me, and I'm stating I'm not going to follow any trend, or I'm not going to follow what anyone else tells me to follow. I'm going to make my own decision about what I'm going to wear. And so it's a little bit of an act of defiance as well, right? I'm going to wear what I want to wear. And I really enjoy it.
When did you start this, Mel? What was the turning point, or what encouraged you to do this?
When I was a kid, I grew up in the country, and I was I had no friends around, so I had to entertain myself. So my mom had some crinoline, old dresses, she'd worn to weddings and stuff like that. And that fueled it then. And then I fell out of it for quite a few years. Like I worked a midnight shift when I worked with some pop stars in Japan. I was in Vancouver, but it was an all-night thing because they kept late hours there and our time zone was different. So I wore all black. It was like my vampire years. I'd wear black. My husband would wear black. And we'd go out in the daytime, and we'd wear our shades, Yeah, we'd wear our shades like this, we'd go out. Let's go get
it's a good
something
look
to
at
eat.
you, Mel. That's a good look for you.
Yeah, thank you. And so I fell out of it. And then as I hit in my late 40s, I noticed, people are ignoring me, and I didn't like that. I was like, you are going to pay attention to me whether you like it or not. I started my blog. I started a street style blog under the influence of Bill Cunningham, the former late New York Times style photographer, such an awesome man. And he inspired me to start a street style blog. And then it went over to my own style blog. I started small, and then it just kept gathering momentum, and now I'm like steam locomotive.
You are on your track. I've read your blog, and I've read some of the comments that people have made about you, other fashion bloggers and style bloggers, because I know you wanted me to make that distinction between style and fashion.
Yes, right.
And they just love your ability to make other people feel energized and to give them permission.
Yes.
To just give them permission to be crazy and kooky and wonderful.
Well, we can play, play is a lost art, and especially in the days of social media. And it's a double-sided coin. Again, you've always got these two sides competing, and one is always staying connected, always, planning your social things, always doing. But the other side is just play, just for the sheer joy of it. And I do personal styling. I had a client, and she was an awesome woman. She was so cool, and she was ready for change. And now she's modeling. She just embraced it, and she's just so joyful, and she's an inspiration, So
well, honestly, Mel, you are an inspiration to me. I just feel like I've been plugged into an electric circuit here. And you've given me seriously, and you've given us so many great ideas, and I know the community is going to love you. So thank you for sharing your clothing and your spirit and your passion for style. And I look forward to talking to you again. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Margaret. Thank you.
Take care. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to our 60andMe YouTube channel and also visit our website. We are a strong and dynamic community of women over 60. We're challenging aging stereotypes, and every day we share fascinating stories, interesting questions, and great conversation.